Welcome to another episode of Four Player Podcasts Audible Impressions. This time around, we're going to talk about Metro 2033. I am an editor at Four Player Podcast, Jeffrey Demelo, and with me, Mr. Bob Webb. What's up, Bob?
Hey, not much.
Okay, so we recently played Metro 2033,
Yeah.
and
Several years after the fact.
say that again?
Was several years after the fact, I think.
Yeah, several years after the fact, yeah, of course. And that's exactly what I wanted to start with saying. Like, I didn't play Metro 2033 at the time, mainly because, I don't know, I had that, like, first-person shooter fatigue, you know what I mean? And I heard great things about it, but I also heard bad things about it, too, you know?
Yeah.
So it felt like one of those middle-of-the-road FPSs that I really, at the time, didn't care about. So
Yeah,
I overlooked it, you know?
I think this is back in March of 2010 when it came out, and then there was just so many fucking shooters, and that was sort of the era of really heavy like saturation of the shooters, and it just for me, I didn't actually even really know it existed until I saw like Brad or Nick. I actually think Nick playing it live on the feed, and I was like, what the fuck is this game? And I didn't really know anything about it, like, other than just that it was it's a European-developed video game, and it's just, I guess the European shooters, like, it's probably a little bit like Stalker, which at the time I knew very little bit about, enough that, hey, they're almost exactly the same, right? But other than that, just seeing little tidbits on the feed, it was sort of stuck in the back of my mind, like, maybe I want to play this at some time. It's one of those games that, if I got time, I might want to pick it up on like a Steam sale or something and then play it. But other than that, there was really no driving force for me to even touch it.
Right, yeah, that was exactly the thing with me too. I was like, I'm going to save this for a rainy day when I want to play an FPS.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to play that, like, I don't want to have to resort to Modern Warfare or whatever at the time, because I haven't played it to play that when I could play something like Metro, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I picked it up cheap on Steam. I had it for a long time, probably for a year before I actually played it. I had it on my Steam account, and then the only reason I started playing it was because I needed something to broadcast. Like, I was being pulled in to broadcast. It's like, shit, what do I have that's installed? Oh, Metro 2033. I remember installing that when I bought it a year ago. Maybe I should play it.
Okay, so you played it, and start with your impressions, man. Like,
I've mentioned this before on other shows, but the first thing that really struck me about the game was the atmosphere, and just kind of how that really affected the whole game. Not only like the story itself isn't like super strong. I wasn't too interested in the story, but really what struck me the most was how the environment told the story. And that really interested me, since it was much more of like here's a narrative, go kill the bad guys. It's just like, here's a world, and it is fucked up. And there's really no explanation of what's going on, and it's just like, oh man, I want to find out what's going on here. It's just crazy.
Right. Yeah, I was the same way. I heard about the atmosphere in it, and then I automatically kind of, was driven to check it out because of that mostly. I didn't hear great things about the shooting, but once I got my hands on it, yeah, for sure, the atmosphere is exactly what sells that game. Being outside and having no audio or soundtrack playing, and all you hear is the wind, and you're breathing in the mask, and the creaks of old wooden doors and flaps blowing in the breeze, or that siren. I remember that one point, I was just walking through somewhere slowly, like, crouched down, and I just kept hearing this, like, the entire time I was driving. It was so creepy, you know what I mean? It was driving me crazy, and because I'm trying to go slow through this section, and it's just 7 minutes of breathing and and it puts you there. And I don't know about you, but I play games all the time with headphones. I have surround sound headphones,
Oh yeah.
and like so I'm in it. You know what I mean? I'm in the game, and when games do that, it completely takes me over. So that's kind of that's the kind of thing that like made me really like this game.
Yeah, I gotta
You
say
know?
with the when saying atmosphere, that's not just, level design and visuals. It's just as much sound design. Like that is
Yeah,
really what that's a whole another sense that they have to tie into the whole, of the environment and kind of really put you in there. Because yeah, you can have the scariest, designed level, but if the sound is shit and you have these really stupid canned noises and it's just like you're walking into a haunted house made in the 1980s, it's just gonna be the dumbest game ever.
right. Just it's a prime example recently. SCP. Did you play that?
Which one? Because the
The
ultimate one's
staircase,
the staircase
the
one.
endless staircase.
Yeah, I haven't played it myself, but I've seen it
Yeah,
played multiple
that's a
times.
perfect example of
Yeah.
just how that the audio makes that scary.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it drags you in. After so long, I feel like as a musician, I kind of feel like that's like a fact. Like if your ears become so accustomed to a certain thing, the longer you stay within that, the more the mood of that sound becomes your mood. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
and those sounds tend to be creepy and tend to be dark and minor notes, and that the longer you have that in your ear, the easier it is to drag you into it.
Yeah.
But so the shooting is fine, right? Like
Yeah, I thought it was
I
all
didn't
right.
have a problem with it.
So did you play it
I
on the 360 or the PC?
I played it on the 360,
Okay, yeah.
but I took the auto aim off the snapping, the
Hmm.
snap fucking, aim assist.
Yeah.
I took it off. And then not because I'm a fucking so hardcore that I had to play with it off, because I tend to keep it on, but I found that it was fucking my shots up more. And
Mm.
I liked the game more with it off.
Yeah, I would completely
J-
agree.
just like Max Payne. Like Max Payne this year, I took the auto aim off, not because I wanted to be a badass, because I just felt like it was fucking up my shots more than it was helping me,
Yeah.
But that was cool, and like the scenarios, you know what I mean? I guess, what did you think about those?
The like
Because
setups, like oh, you have to go through this entire camp of Nazis, like that kind of stuff.
yeah, like all the stuff, like I think the scenarios were I want to say they were open ended, but I played them like they were, designed to be played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't go in guns blazing, so I'm not sure if the game lends itself to that.
I saw multiple ways to play the game, and I did find multiple routes through certain areas. I personally, I played it in kind of a stealth way. Like I picked up the stealth
Yeah,
suit,
that's what
and
I
like
did too.
as soon as I had the stealth suit, it made me just almost indetectable. And I had
I
the
didn't even
knives.
know there was a fucking stealth
Yeah,
suit.
yeah, no, you can go and you pick up suits, and it's not very obvious. They don't. That's the other thing. This game, it doesn't tell you everything. So
Right, and
there's
that's another keynote
yeah,
of like a driving force for my liking. I like that. I don't want them to hold my
no,
hand. I've been playing games for fucking 24 years. Like I don't need you to explain everything to me. That finding out that is what makes it so great, right?
yeah,
Because
it's
you're
much
like,
more.
holy shit, they got suits. Like,
Yeah, and there's when you explain everything, every single little mechanic and everything you're supposed to do, like a little fucking tooltip comes up and says, "Oh, you can buy a suit. Using a suit improves it." All this other bullshit. It just removes the mystery and it takes you out of the context of the world. Like
right,
if you're being constantly interrupted by these little things that say, "Oh, you can use these suits and or you can go and you can buy new weapons here." It's just no, it's all in the context of the game, and it doesn't feel
right,
like ham-handed and like all this kind of really uh, jarring contrast between
right,
game world and real world. So
right.
it's just another added bonus to the actual game. Like I know with the I really liked the kind of the money system and the bullet system, because it was just sort of it was a nice touch on the world. I ended up, I played it on like normal or so. I think there's several ranges of difficulties, and if you play it on the hardest setting, yeah, it's gonna be just fucking kick your ass.
Right.
But on the medium setting, I was able to get through with quite a bit of bullets and buy everything I ever needed. And I didn't. There's some situations where it was hard enough that you'd
Right.
run out of ammo and you'd be forced to use another gun, or
Right.
forced to play in a way that you normally wouldn't be comfortable with because there's no quick save. So
Oh,
it's
right. Right.
you have to it's yeah you have on the console obviously you don't have the quick save, but on the PC you're there's very tight checkpoints for where
Yeah.
they'll checkpoint you.
You know, that brings up a really cool point. Like, yeah, that survival is important because you don't want to have to reload from the beginning of that section because they do get tough and they
Yeah.
get long.
Well, yeah, with
They
the
get, you know,
with like if I was able to quick save, I would be fucking quick saving, quick loading like every 5-10 minutes whenever I screwed up. What this forced me to do was try to salvage a situation where it's like, all right, well, I didn't stealthily kill this guy. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking go with it.
right.
Even though
And
I
the
alerted
money
everyone.
and the currency thing with bullets. Like when like I heard critical opinion when it was originally released, and I heard a lot about this bullet thing. But honestly, I didn't get lost in that. It didn't like, I don't know, it didn't draw me in. You know what I mean? The bullets I barely cared, and when I saved them, but
Yeah,
I didn't really shop at stores that much, and I just saved those bullets for like, bigger, deadlier
yeah,
enemies.
and I imagine that factors in a lot more when you play the harder difficulties,
Oh
because
yeah, for sure.
it will definitely hand your ass to you if you're not playing it much more optimally.
Right. All right. So sounds like we like it.
Oh no, yeah, this was one of my biggest kind of surprises as to why the fuck did I miss this game? Like
Uh,
this year, like why I was like, oh, holy shit, this game is 2 years old and it's really good. Like how the fuck did I miss this?
yeah, one of your favorite non-games of
Yeah,
2012.
exactly. Like if it
Yeah.
unfortunately it's not part of 2012, so it can't be on my top 10 list. But if it was, it would be up there. It would be really high on my
Yeah.
list.
And to go with the last Audible impressions, like the narrative here, it was there's some stuff there, I think.
Yeah.
With the ending, because there's two endings, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think there's three, but
Oh,
I
really?
don't know if the Xbox has the third ending. It might be just on the PC.
I
But
don't know.
there's like a true there's like a instead of just being like a good and evil ending, there's actually like a true good ending or something like that.
Right.
Which,
Yeah, because I did a certain thing because anyway, this isn't going to be a spoiler cast.
yeah.
But we have watched some gameplay footage, like 12, 13 minutes worth of gameplay footage of Last Light,
Yeah.
which is the sequel,
It's
right?
yeah, it
It's
looks
a
good.
prequel sequel?
It's no, I think it's a sequel based on
Okay.
the bad ending of Metro 2033.
Oh,
Yeah.
off the bad ending?
Yeah, I believe it's based off the bad
I heard
ending
about this place.
or the evil ending. I guess they're not. It's not good versus bad. There's
Well, that kind of sucks,
yeah, I know.
right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, at least that's what I've been told. It's a series of books that this game is based off of, which I intend to go pick up and read. But I think that's where the story went in the book line, like in that books. So they had to kind of tie it more back towards the novels. At least that's my
No,
assumption.
well, the wiki says,
So much for the sun.
although author Dmitry, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, has apparently been working with the developers, it bears no reference to the book Metro
Okay.
2034.
Rain?
Okay. That's probably why it's called Metro
When was the last time you
2033
saw
Last
rain?
Light.
Shit.
Yeah, actually, it's just Metro.
Is it just Metro Last Light? Yeah, it's Metro Last Light.
Yeah, they took the number off because it didn't play.
That's interesting.
And with that being said, let's talk about it because it does look a little bit different.
A little bit. I noticed the game itself looks, at least the gameplay we saw, plays a lot more on the kind of creepy aspects of Metro 2033. Like the really kind of what do they call it, the anomalies and the strange kind of in between worlds where there's were some of them my favorite parts of Adventure 2033 because it's not just like there's monsters. It's like no, there's something here that doesn't behave like you would expect it would be.
And you have to choose something.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, I didn't expect it. You had to make a decision for something, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And it played a part because I kind of read into some stuff that they were feeding me with those cutscenes, and I got a little something out of the narrative at the end of 2033. So, but the other footage I seen of Metro Last Light, because I've watched some footage, was really action heavy.
Mm-hmm.
In one like 10-minute section, I seen like 9 different guns. Now I don't know if that's like put there just
for to
prove a point to show off guns, or if that's how the game's gonna be. But if that's a sign of how many guns are on the field, I think that's going to be crazy. They're not using the currency system, right?
I don't know. That's the thing is there's several things I didn't see in the video, and one of them was I didn't see currency, no bullet currency. I didn't see that. Another one is that I didn't see him losing weapons. Like in the first game, you only have 2 slots for guns. That's it.
Yeah, I like that.
But
I like that.
In this game, I didn't see that kind of factor in at all. Actually, and sometimes I think he swaps between 3 different guns.
Right.
Which is you're in the first game you have a handgun, a pistol, and you have your bigger gun, either be it a shotgun or a MP5 or whatever kind of submachine gun.
It wouldn't if that's the case. It wouldn't surprise me if gas masks play no part in this.
Actually, in the gameplay footage there are gas masks and they're filters. So that was the plane crash gameplay.
Oh.
Yeah, there specifically in the narrative when you're walking around with a guy, he tells you to put your mask on. You have to pick up some filters. So that does factor in. Like I was playing through 2033, it took me like at least 4 to 5 hours in to realize I could change my mask. Like swap it off and get rid of the cracked mask and give it pick up a newer mask. Because when you take damage when you have your mask on, it actually cracks your mask. And I noticed visually in Last Light, that shit comes off really good. Like it looks really good.
Yeah, the game looks
visually it's beautiful. It's a wonderful game, and it makes me wonder like how is it gonna change with how is it gonna change with the console versus the PC? Because I know the PC is gonna look fucking amazing. It's gonna look like the gameplay footage they're showing.
Yeah.
But with the consoles, it's slated. Oh Jesus Christ! I'm looking at the platforms. PC, Windows, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. So they're gonna have to deal with those low end requirements for those Wii U. Yeah, that's what I scoffed at. Wii U. There's gonna be a Metro Last Light for the Wii U? Really? I didn't. When was this announced?
I know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, so this is back when when it was really shown at E3 2011, when the Wii U was being kind of shown. This was part of the show reel. Yeah, though I guess since then they haven't really. They stated that it may not be released on the platform. This was part of that Wii U hype from last year's E3 2023. So it may or may not be.
Well, whatever. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm pumped for it. I'm really excited for this game.
I am pumped too. So, I guess that's it.
Yep.
What's next down the pipeline? I don't know.
Video
you don't know. Nobody knows. Well, I guess until next time, Bob. It's been fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.